can we talk about the new character you've introduced here at EVO?
Sure, I can talk about Parasoul. Here she is. So Parasoul is much more of a zoning poking character. A guy actually wanted to have us record some combos the other day, and like they're pretty short because she's a zoning poking character. But she has very long range on her weak punch and even longer range on forward hard punch. A lot of her attacks have flame, right? Like these and her hard punches. Those will eventually have a you're on fire effect, but we didn't get to that yet. She has doubles on a lot of her attacks, so she can actually do 2 light kicks, whereas most characters can't. She can do 2 hard punches. She can do 2 medium kicks. She has a very, very fast dash, like really, really short, and of course you can still interrupt it into whatever, whenever you want. She has kind of a weird walk, like it just sort of oscillates back and forth. Right, it's not a constant speed because she crosses her legs. So the first part is actually faster, so she's a little bit better at tick grabs than normal because she takes a really big step at the beginning of her walk cycle. You can always just dash instead. But yeah, as far as special moves go, she has tears from her umbrella, which you can place at various points on the screen and blow up after a while. We've actually been experimenting with a couple of different ways of you deploying and using the tears. So actually yesterday at EVO, when you threw them and placed them, they stayed there, and then when you hit them with a fire attack, they went off. But the thing is, people didn't use that because that's not as useful because you have to be by where it is in order to set it off, which means you basically have to be rushing them down anyway. So at this point, you know, even full screen, I can zone with them and I can use them as defense. And they become slightly more useful when we do this. If the opponent punches it, it goes away. But they're slightly better like this. And you can throw a bunch of them in a row. And actually, so you can hold the button down when you toss it, and when you let it go is where it places.
How many of those can you have on a screen?
You can have 3 at once, and then the first one will go away. It's actually pretty difficult to have all 3 out at the same time.
Yeah.
So that limit hasn't turned out to be really hit a lot. The ones that you shoot will also set off ones that are already placed, right? So you can actually keep up pretty decent pressure just with fireballs. And if you land one, or if they touch your opponent, they then have to avoid the explosion from the other one. She also has Quake, which is down-up kick, and does various things depending on the strength. The light kick one doesn't knock down, but I'll show you why it's useful later. The medium kick one does knock down, and the hard kick one is invincible in launches and allows for combos afterwards if you're slightly better than I am, I guess. Yep, if you're way better than I am. Yeah, so she also has Soldier Call, which is kind of unique as far as what their uses are. So it's charge back, forward, and kick, right? The hard kick version is self-explanatory. A motorcycle grab that you can combo after, or you can chase to bring them all the way to the corner. The medium kick version is the bodyguard.
Saves you from projectiles.
Saves you from projectiles, like it'll eat all of Peacock's super and you can punish it. But if it gets hit, like do a hard punch, right, then he's done. So if you get hit by the point character, that's it, no more projectile defense. And the weak kick version is a soldier comes out and distracts her and she says, go away. The use of this is not immediately apparent to most people, but it's basically an RC. So you can use it to cancel out of things that you normally can't, like overhead and then fake a throw instead, or like keep some of your pressure strings safe, right? I'm not doing such a great job of it, but it's actually pretty useful for doing that kind of thing. You can also use it to combo off of things that you can't normally, like cancel out of the recovery of your axe kick, or cancel out of the recovery of your throw. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Right. He's got a really long cooldown time, but he's actually pretty useful. As far as supers go, she's currently got 2. There's a 3rd one, but it's in the process of getting colored. The first one is the sniper shot, which is wherever you are, but it's got a very long lag time. It's 16 frames after the flash, so like it won't combo off these. for example. But this is why I talked about the weak Quake before.
Okay.
Because you can actually combo off of it and continue. And she already has her level 3, which is a bunch of soldiers. It doesn't do as much damage. Keep in mind I'm 3-on-1, so she's gonna take a very little regardless. But the thing is, since it's hit count instead of 3 moves that do a ton of damage, the minimum damage scaling is reached very quickly. So even if you do it at the end of a long combo, it still does the same damage, which is actually what makes it really useful as a level 3. Like Tron's Lunch Rush in Marvel 2 was the same way. You end a 40 hit combo with it, it still does 40 points of damage because every hit does 1 no matter what.